News.
.3 Citi FM. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News. Coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafi, and tonight I'm here with coming up in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes.
This goes to indicate the overwhelming majority support in the base who have expressed confidence in renewing the mandate of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to lead the party.
Over 60 sitting MPP MPs throw their weight behind Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia over his decision to take another shot at the country's presidency. Tonight, we hear from some of these MPs supporting Dr. Bawumia's re-election bid. Meanwhile, Dr. Bawumia says there's hard work to be done to win election 2028.
Off we go. There's a lot of hard work to be done so that we can help the party and help the country.
Also coming up on Eyewitness News.
That the issue of the completion of the collation of Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary election result has been referred to the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice for legal advice and
Electoral Commission blames Attorney General's Department for the long delay over the declaration of parliamentary election results in the Ablekuma North constituency here in the Greater Accra region. And later, the much anticipated and much awaited Agri Fair is here. Join us at the Afua Sutherland Children's Park tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday for your fresh farm produce. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on these stories. Also coming up in business.
Page calls for 9% loan interest rates to support farmers.
Eyewitness News is live on our affiliates across the country and around the globe on citinewsroom.com. You can join us with your WhatsApp messages on 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. Before Eno brings us our first story, we go back to Parliament, where the Deputy Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Eric Bosman Asare, is currently meeting members of Parliament to give the House an update on the Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary election results. Since December 7th, when we voted, that constituency is without a member of Parliament. Members of Parliament summon him or the Electoral Commission to appear before the House and give some answers over the delay in the declaration of parliamentary election result. We go back to Parliament.
Information is done like you did in the Domiko Abenya. Domiko Abenya, when you were declaring, there was no police. I was available. Domiko Abenya, there was no police. A party protested, but you proceeded. So don't you think that on the strength of what Mr. Idrisu and Mr. Nitiwo have advised, coupled with the very point I'm making, you as a commission can boldly proceed to conclude this so that Ghanaians will see that the police has delayed you and you had proceeded to do your constitutional duty even at the peril of your life. Don't you think that you would have to proceed on that path?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner. Mr. Chairman, thank you. I think the Commission has looked at several options, and the Commission came to the conclusion that we think it will be in the best interest of the Commission and the country to have all the parties on the same page for us to make progress. So we think that, and we coming here is an excellent opportunity for us, for the House, to ensure that all of us are on the same page, because we believe that we have come very far as a country, and this is something we should be able to agree in the interest of our country's democracy. Thank you.
I'll give the final question, yes.
Mr. Commissioner, although
I think it will be in the best interest of the Commission and the country to have all the parties on the same page.
The rules of engagement now
so we think that
do not permit me.
And we come in here is an excellent
party.
opportunity for us,
But
for the House, to ensure that all of us are on the same page, because we believe that we have come very far as a country, and this is something we should be able to agree in the interest of our country's democracy.
That the commission was not fair
I'll give the final,
in the
final
matter
question,
of
yes.
Michael
Mr. Commissioner
Okwe Jr. Of Domiko Abenya.
Although
It's will suffice because
rich and
you are
curious,
anchoring your reason.
the rules of engagement
You are
now
anchoring your reason
do not permit me
on the grounds of
to go on
fairness
certain parties.
that the commission wants both parties to be
talking
available.
about
But in the
collective
Domiko Abenya, in a similar way, one party
give a certain
protested and was not available.
Then the suggestion,
but you proceeded to declare.
that
So
the
don't you think
commission
that
was not fair
Mr. Speaker,
in
Mr.
the
Chairman,
matter of
I laid the
Michael
foundation. Let me finish.
Okwe
Don't
Jr.
you think that
of Domiko
the
Abenya
path you are choosing
is
that
suffice
until
because
all the parties
because
are
you are
available
anchoring your
will
reason.
amount
You are anchoring
to
your
easy
reason
itself
on the grounds of
sidestepping
fairness
its precedence
that the commission
in the
wants
Domiko
both
Abenya
parties to be
situation.
available.
And that
But
EC
in the Domiko Abenya, in a
acting
similar
unfair.
way, one party protested
Mr. Michael Okwe,
and was not
who
available.
protested
proceeded
and
to
who
declare. So don't
objected
you think
and
that-
who disagreed
Mr.
and
Chairman,
EC
I laid
insisted
the foundation.
that well this is the
Don't
right
you think
path
that-
and you proceeded without him.
Deputy
Don't you think
Commissioner, if you are minded, you can respond.
but
If you
let
are
me-
not,
I think there is an aspect I would like to speak to.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Order
easy
89,
itself,
Order 89.1
its precedence
does not
in the
permit
Domiko
a
Abenya
supplementary
situation.
question
And that easy
to introduce a new matter
unfair.
that was not contained in the original
Michael
question.
Okwe,
That is the rule.
protested.
The leader
And
must
who
learn to play by the
objected?
rules.
And who disagreed?
He can't introduce
And
Domiko
EC
Abenya into this
insisted
matter.
that, well,
If he's minded, he
this is
should
the
file
right
his own
path, and you
question
proceeded
on
without
Domiko
it.
Abenya,
Deputy
like I
Commissioner,
have done
if
in
you are
respect of
minded,
Abdul
you can
Manaf.
respond.
That we interrogate it.
I think there is
But
an
it cannot be
aspect I would like to
suggesting that
speak to.
a wrong was done in the declaration of
well.
Domiko Abenya. It wasn't contained in the
Well,
original
well.
question. The law does not permit
well. Honorable Deputy Commissioner, that's why I'm giving those. If you are mindful to respond, fine. Other than that, I'll ask the leader to file a separate question. Are you responding?
Mr. Chairman, please.
Okay,
Yes,
let's.
I think what I want to say is that
You've asked the person, please. You've asked the person. You let him respond.
Mr. Speaker, I'm concerned. Mr. Speaker, please. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, with respect, you didn't call the chief whip. I'm drawing your attention to a matter.
Honorable Deputy
You didn't
Commissioner,
call the
that's why
chief
I'm
whip.
giving those.
Yet he came
If
in
you are
to
mindful
make
to respond, fine. Other than that, I'll
a
ask the leader
determination
to
on a
file a
matter.
separate question.
I beg of you, Mr. Speaker,
So-
we all want to play it fair.
Okay.
We all want to play it fair. When a question is asked, you've asked him to answer. All right, you've asked him to answer. Let us play the rule fair.
Mr. Speaker,
The man he referred to Domiko.
Have you finished?
He referred to Domiko Abenya in his answer.
yet he came
He
in
copiously referred to Domiko Abenya, and that is the reason why
Very well.
I asked Domiko Abenya
Very well.
in the supplementary.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, let's play fair.
So am I not playing
When
fair?
the question is
He
asked,
just got up, spoke.
You've asked him to answer.
Yet I asked the
All right.
Deputy Commissioner to
You asked
respond
him
to the
to
question.
answer.
It means he didn't hear me
Let us
before speaking.
play the rule
So
fair.
I've asked the Deputy Commissioner
The man
to
he
go
referred
ahead
to Domiko.
and respond to you.
Have you finished?
So
He referred to
Deputy Whip,
Domiko
please.
Abenya. In his answer, he copiously referred to Domiko Abenya, and that is the
Speaker,
reason why.
with your leave, let me read Order 89.1.
Honorable
Speaker,
member.
please,
Let's
Speaker,
play
please,
So
please,
am I not praying
bail
fair?
me out.
He
Order
just
89.1
got
is to the effect that
spoke.
as soon as the question
Yes,
is
I
answered,
asked
any
the
member,
Deputy Commissioner to respond to the
beginning
question.
with the
It
member
means
who asked
he
the
didn't
question,
hear me
may
before
without
speaking.
notice
So
ask a
I've asked
supplementary
the
question
Deputy
for
Commissioner
further
to go
clarification of
ahead
any
and
matter
I respond
or
to
fact
you.
on the answer,
So,
but a supplementary
Deputy Whip,
question
please.
shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question.
Honorable member.
So if you stand here and say that in his matter, that is an answer. The rule says you cannot introduce a matter not included in the original question.
Honorable member.
So the leader should also learn to behave
Honorable
like
member, I'm sitting here trying to be fair to every side. the commissioner, in responding to the question, made reference to Domi Kwabenya. So if somebody, honorable, please allow me, please. He made reference to Domi Kwabenya. So if somebody is also asking questions and relating it to Domi Kwabenya, I think it is fair. That is why I'm asking him to respond. Honorable Deputy Commissioner, please respond.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I made the point that the Commission would wish that both the MPP and the NDC are on board and we move. However, what is very, very important is that we need the police protection. Once we have the police protection, we proceed. So that's for that one is the most important thing to us. Then we do our work because per the law we are mandated to do that. So once the police assure us that they are going to do their work, we are not so much interested in party A or party B. We just go ahead and do our work. But we would wish that all the parties are on the same page. Thank you. The Commission would wish that both the MPP and the NDC are on board and we move. However, what is very, very important is that we need the police protection. Once we have the police protection, we proceed. So that's so for that one is the most important thing to us. Then we do our work because per the law we are mandated to do that. So once the police assure us that they are going to do their work, we are not so much interested in party A or party B. We just go ahead and do our work. But we would wish that all the parties are on the same page. Thank you.
Collating the results, continuing to collate the results, has become very, very risky. Without police protection. And so you can only collate the results with police protection. What has made the coalition very, very risky without police protection?
Carefully to you.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner. Thank you. We've always done the coalition with the police protection. So this is not a departure. That has been the what we've been doing. But let me also say, in the High Court ruling which I cited, that same ruling also ordered the police to provide security to the Electoral Commission. So although the ruling was yes, you go ahead and do your work, it also required the police to provide us with that protection. And all the coalition centers, we have police protection. Thank you.
Well. Yes. Please, Deputy Commissioner.
Thank you.
Listen to
we've always done the coalition with the police protection.
So
this is not a departure. That has been what we've been doing. But let me also say, in the High Court ruling which I cited, that same ruling also ordered the police to provide security to the Electoral Commission. So although the ruling was yes, you go ahead and do your work, it also required the police to provide us with that protection. And all the coalition centers we have police protection.
Those provisions that say that you must have police present for you to collate results?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. We don't have it in our CIs specifically, but beyond that, we have the National Election Security Task Force. So all the security aspects, they handle it.
The Act,
yes,
the Representation of People's Act, the Constitution. What I'm saying is that, is there anywhere in those provisions that you have present judged yourself as a result of past incidents relating to your attempt to collate the results, including the burning of one of your offices, the destruction of the records that you have, which makes it difficult for you to collate, and now you are relying on third-party records for the coalition. Now, the point I'm trying to get at is you have adjudged that it is risky for you to collate without police presence. And I'm asking, why is it risky? Because that is at the crux of the matter. Why has it become risky? Has it become risky because the two sides in the election, one side is disputing certain records, the other side is insisting on certain records. And because of the disagreement over these records, one side is threatening to disrupt the process if you proceed to collate, for which reason you need security. Is that what it is all about?
Yes, please. That's what is happening.
And I'm asking, why is it risky? So, can you tell us exactly what it is
that side is challenging.
The two sides in the election, one side is
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Records. The other side is insisting on second records. And because
not the two parties that contested in the parliamentary elections. The parliamentary election in Ablekumanov.
If you proceed to
when we finished the coalition, when we started the coalition on the 7th, yes, we had after almost 163 or something, all of them came that their pensions had been destroyed.
Exactly what it is.
When we were left with a little over almost 120 or so. So we decided to resort to other measures to be able to do that. And there was clear understanding until it got to the remaining 37 polling stations. And when it got to the remaining 37 polling stations, when we the remaining the 62, one of them brought carbon copies, which was accepted. Or something. The other party accepted, so there was no problem. Of the remaining 37, one of the parties brought that, and the other party started accepting it. And when it got to about 17 or so, remaining 17, then the other party said no, they will no longer accept it. So that was the point we started bringing in the presiding officers to come and authenticate whether indeed the signatures were their signatures and whether the figures written there were the figures they actually wrote. So that's why we got to that point. So we did 14. And out of it was left with 17 and we did 14. So we still have the 3 outstanding. And the other party started accepting it.
So the source of insecurity
so that was
is
the point
as a result of
in the presiding
one party
officers to come and
challenging one,
whether indeed the signatures were their signatures.
25 of the 59 copies were actually carbon copies.
So that's why we got
and
to that
should
point.
not
So
be added to the scanned copies.
And out of it was left with 17. And there were 62, and they brought 25 carbon copies, which were accepted.
Yes.
So it was left with 37, and the 37 the aides of both parties accepted almost about 20 of them. So so the remaining ones were those we brought in the presiding officers to come and confirm
that at your 25 June 12th meeting, at your June 12th meeting, you had your last meeting was June 12th with the parties.
Yes,
was June 12th. Yes, the parties were present. At your June 12th meeting, one of the parties insisted that they were not accepting any of the results beyond the 25 carbon copies. That they were demanding that 37 police stations should be rerun, whilst one party was also insisting that only 3 police stations should be rerun, because that is the police stations that they thought were not accepted. So there's still a dispute between the two parties. One party standing at 37 police stations, the other standing at 3 police stations, and one party is insisting that the presiding officers did not participate in some of the processes. So the issue is the fact that you don't have the original records. The two parties also say they've lost their records. In some instances, one party comes with some records and you decide that you are ruling that record will be accepted. Sometimes the other party is protesting, because don't forget that the whole process of the coalition was covered by TV3. TV3 covered it live, and on TV3 we saw challenges to the acceptance of some of the scanned copies. And we also saw your staff overruling the challenges and insisting that they will accept those scanned results. So, yes, TV3 covered it. It was a public event, and TV3 covered it. The footages are there and can be produced. So clearly there is some disagreement about the evidence. You are making categorical statements that you have covered all except 3. To the acceptance of there are footages establishing that there is disagreement by one party regarding overruling the a number far in excess
of that they will accept the those scan results. So that being the case, CVT covered it as a public event, and as a parliament, the footage invite the parties individually. The returning officers, the presiding officers, the agents, and the officers who we saw on the TV, there are footages in the footages establishing that and try to establish the facts as you are alleging here. Can this house go beyond your allegations and invite the parties and ascertain the facts to decide if we should go ahead and that being the case and force this house the police to go and then provide security for individually to collate and declare the results. The presiding officers, the agents, and the officers who
I don't know if it's the function of Parliament to do that. But what I can say without any doubt is that all the processes have been very, very participatory. We have involved the agents of all the candidates in the process. And as I said, when they got to a point, one of the parties was disputing the scan copies. That's when we invited the presiding officers. So the presiding officers on national TV admitted and they endorsed the results. And I've made this point earlier. I don't know if the Electoral Commission, we are not interested in the outcome of election. What I can say without any doubt is that all the processes have been very, very participatory. We are interested in the processes leading to a very, very all the candidates in the process. And we think that when they got to a point, that is what we must fight for. Disputing the scan copies. That's when we invited the presiding officers. We are beseeching the leadership of the House. We are beseeching the leadership on national TV admitted and they endorsed. Our elections are the best. And our elections are the best earlier. When you look at the electoral integrity project, Ghana is ranked number 4 in the whole of Africa. And we are only seen the EU report. No, let me make the point. The EU report we are interested in the processes leading to a very, very successful outcome. In 2020, and we think that about 95. That is what we must fight for. The Electoral Commission is doing its best. So I made the point that we are beseeching the leaders to achieve our objective of becoming one of the best when it comes to the business. All the processes, our elections are the best. There have been no bias. Our elections are the best. Very transparent. When you look at the electoral integrity project, Ghana is ranked number 4 in the whole of Africa. And those who have seen the EU report, the EU report on the 2024 election, they gave us almost 90%. In 2020, they gave us about 95%. So clearly, the Electoral Commission is doing its best. So we think that support us to be able to achieve our objective of becoming one of the best when it comes to the business. All the processes, there have been no bias. Everything has been very, very transparent. Thank you.
You need the protection of the police to carry on the rest of the exercise.
Yes, leader.
You are not getting the protection of the police to carry on the rest of the exercise. Because by the police's own evaluation, there's a security threat. The process has been publicly they've said they have the capacity to deal with it. To listen to all sides. Then they say there's a legal matter. You are left with 3 and on and on and on by your account. This house, as a parliament, account of one of the parties, this house as a parliament, they dispute definitely has the capacity to go beyond you, where you have reached and you have challenges. This house as to carry on the rest of the exercise. Parliament can't go beyond you. You are not getting the and listen to all the parties carry on the rest of the exercise and give directives. Because so the question by the police's own evaluation, yes, this house has the capacity. Security threat. This house can direct the Minister of Interior. Then this house can direct the IGP. And this house can direct the Minister for Defense. This house can direct the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. So the point I'm making is, before this house where you have reached, this house will not direct the EC. Before this house can go beyond you, gives a direction to all the parties. The house has to convince itself of the facts. So the question I am, and so far this house has heard only from you. This house has not heard from the 2 political parties. So the question I'm asking, are you comfortable this house can direct with this the Minister for Defense setting up a committee to invite the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to hear from them, to confirm the facts, so that it can give the directives that you need?
Cannot direct the EC.
Before, no, this house will not direct the EC. Before this house gives a directive, the house has to convince itself of the facts. And so far, this house has heard only from you. This house has not heard from the 2 political parties.
Yes.
Deputy
so
Commissioner,
the question I'm asking,
you may answer the question.
Are you comfortable with this House setting up a committee to invite the parties, to hear from them, to confirm the facts, so that
Chairman,
it can give the directives that you need?
As the Minister for Education indicated earlier, the Parliament represents the people of Ghana. And if the EC is an institution of Ghana, anytime we are having problems, we come to now the Committee on Independent Constitutional Bodies.
Deputy
so what the EC wants
the
Parliament to support is get the police to support us to complete the work. Thank you. Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Leader
for Education indicated
Honorable Leader, you may take your last question.
Represents the people of Ghana. And if the EC is an institution of Ghana, anytime we have problems,
this House
now the Committee on Independent Constitutional
is ready to support
so
you.
what the EC wants the Parliament to support is
initially
get the police to support
when the minority raised the issue,
complete the work. Thank you.
I assured the minority that I will go and find out exactly what happened. I went to the police.
Honorable Leader. Honorable Leader, you may take your last question.
Initially, when the
Honorable members,
the issue,
let's give hearing to
I assured the
leader of the House
that I will go and find out exactly what happened. I went to the police. Mr. Speaker, this House must at all times endeavor to take sides to enforce justice based on facts that we are not in doubt. Now,
Honorable
you're saying
members,
that
let's give hearing to the
when
leader of
it
the
became
House.
difficult, you invited the presiding officers,
Mr. Speaker,
so that they could confirm and authenticate their signatures on the scanned copies.
At all times,
I went to the police
to take sides,
and the police who were present
justice
indicated to me
facts
that on 2 or 3 or 4 occasions, some of the presiding officers
you're saying that
actually raised questions about
when it became
the authenticity of the signatures.
You invited the presiding officers.
I was there. I spoke to the police directly.
So that they could confirm and authenticate
2 or 3 or 4
on the scan
of the presiding officers.
I went to the police, and the police who were present.
You're also listening to Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM just a while ago in Parliament. The Majority Leader Mahama Yarega questioned the Deputy Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Eric Bosman, over the delay in the declaration of parliamentary election results in the Ablekuma North constituency. That constituency for the past 6 months has been without a member of parliament. Members of parliament summoned the Electoral Commission to appear before the House and explain what has caused the long delay over the declaration of results in the constituency. And as the Deputy Chairperson, Dr. Bosman Asare, said, there are quite a number of issues. The Attorney General is expected to give a legal opinion on how the election should go on. He also talks about security. They need security, Ghana Police Service and the Election Security Task Force to give them the needed security so they can go in there and declare the results. But Eno also had some more stories from the presentation made by Dr. Bosman Asare in Parliament.
The Electoral Commission is blaming the Attorney General's Department for the long delay over the declaration of parliamentary election results in the Ablekuma North constituency. The EC says the AG's delay in giving legal advice on how to proceed with the collation is stalling the process. Appearing before Parliament, Deputy Chairperson of the EC, Dr. Eric Bosman Asare, says the Commission is ready to act if the advice is given.
Again, in a letter dated on 17 February, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Police Service to inform them about the urgent need to conclude the collation process as the request for adequate security. This was after the conclusion of the 2 outstanding Council of State elections for the Northeast and Ashanti regions on Monday, 17 February 2025. The Commission invited political parties to an IPAC meeting on 26 February 2025 and followed it up with another meeting with the NPP and the NDC on Thursday, 13th March 2025. The NDC at the meeting raised some issues and followed it up with a letter to the Commission to address the issues raised in their letter.
You heard Deputy Chairperson of the EC, Dr. Eric Bosman-Asare.
Let's go to the phone line and speak to Evans Nimako. He's Director of Elections and Research for the New Patriotic Party, the NPP. Mr. Nimako, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you listened to Dr. Bosman-Asare address members of Parliament, giving a comprehensive report in respect of the Ablekuma North constituency and what is causing the delay over the declaration of parliamentary election results in that constituency. What do you make of the presentation you made to members of the House?
Well, thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers and listeners. I think for us as New Patriotic Party, our position has been very clear from day one. The court on January 4, 2025 gave judgment and ordered the Electoral Commission to complete collation exercise for the Ablekuma North parliamentary elections and ordered the National Election Security Task Force, which is chaired by the police service, to provide the appropriate security arrangement for EC to complete the collation. The EC has been in public domain, indicating that they are ready to complete the exercise. My brother, this whole issue of Ablekuma North, we started with a certain collation of 165 results from the polling station, another 54, another 25. And when you put these numbers together, you will have 244 polling station results. At that point, the NDC forced the EC returning officer to declare the results for their NDC candidate. And so the issue went to court, High Court, Supreme Court, and all that the EC continue with the collation. As we speak, we have gotten to 278 polling station results collated. Remaining 3, because Ablekuma North has 280 polling stations plus 1 special voting center, which makes it 281. And so we don't see why it should be difficult for the Electoral Commission and the police service to complete this exercise. It is not the best, but if I'll take you back, we have been very successful in going through the presidential results. Unfortunately for us as a country, the EC declared the presidential results without Ablekuma North. Albeit, we know that we have a president who has assumed the reign of this country. It is a shame that we don't have member of parliament for Ablekuma North, and we all know. And I'm happy that in all these collation exercises, the media were there, the police were there, other election observer groups were there, and we all saw what happened. What is so intriguing is that on the day of collation, 8th of December, when some men decided to destroy electoral material, the police has been unable to cause arrest and conduct investigation for these people to be prosecuted. And that, for me, is a big shame. So for us as New Patriotic Party, we want the EC and the police service, and by extension, the National Election Security Task Force, to be aware that there's a pending judgment of the court that has not been set aside. So they have responsibility to complete this exercise.
Evans, in the presentation of Dr. Bosman-Asare, he mentions that the there's supposed to be a legal opinion, a legal advice from the Attorney General's Department on the way forward as far as the recoalition is concerned. Are you aware of this legal advice that Dr. Bosman Asari spoke about in Parliament?
It's strange. Where is this coming from? The New Patriotic Party wrote to the Ghana Police Service. The response from the Ghana Police Service was that the NDC has written to them and indicated that there's a case pending at the Supreme Court with respect to Ablekuma North. This is not in our attention. I don't know whether the EC has been served of anything of that sort. But, my brother, and I'm happy to say once again that on the 4th of January, when the High Court gave judgment and ordered the police and the EC, your reporters were there at the court. And so I'm surprised that at this point, one will want to rely on a certain advice from the AG. AG for what? Has AG gone to court to set aside the judgment of the High Court, which was rendered on 4th January 2025? I don't think so. So I'll be so surprised that the EC at this point, I'm not too sure, that the EC will say that there's any pending case at the Supreme Court. I'll be so surprised. The New Patriotic Party, all we know is that we've been able to collate results from 278 polling stations and we are left with 3 to go. And I can assure you that the NDC knows that they lost the Ablekuma North parliamentary election and that our candidate, Honorable Ekefie, had more votes than their candidate. And my brother, you see, this whole election, 2024 election, has taught us a lot of lessons. You know, when the court gave judgment, there were other constituencies. Okankwe North, Tema Central, Ablekuma North, and others. In fact, Dome Kwabinya, the EC declared the results for NDC when New Patriotic Party was not even in attendance and relied on counting sheet that indicates the number of people who turn out to the polling station to cast their vote and use that to determine the numbers candidates obtained from those polling stations. And New Patriotic Party said, if that is coming from the EC, so be it. You are aware that at the collation center, some hoodlums attacked the place and destroyed ballot papers, and New Patriotic Party suffered.
Okay. All right, Evans, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Evans Nimakwe is Director of Research and Elections for the New Patriotic Party, the NPP. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We go for a quick break. When we come back, we have more stories.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, where are you?
Bossman, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account
account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more. EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
From back in the day when Afro hair was trending and children had to queue to play Kwejo's video game, Fun Milk was always irresistible. Today, it's an after-school source of refreshment. For you stuck in traffic and for us looking to cool off under the sun, the invitation is always that sound. So, whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keeps you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone. This advert is FDA approved.
Fun fact, did you know that most frogs can leap more than 20 times their body length? Yup, magical. Now just imagine your business with that kind of reach. Take that leap with Frog. Frog is a bulk SMS, voice messaging, and IVR from Wiggle. User-friendly, fast, and reliable. Get more features on one platform for all your bulk messaging needs. Whether you're a church, financial institution, school, corporate organization, or individual, if you need to reach people with your services, do it with Frog. Contact 0553 019 529 or 0552 809 558. Speak to us at www.wiggle.com.gh. Frog, a leap into greatness.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami. We are here tonight. I'm here with Eno Safu. Let's do some other stories. And today we're told that a group of members of parliament besieged the residence or the campaign office of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the former vice president and the 2024 presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. The MPs were there to throw their weight behind his re-election bid, or his bid again to contest the country's presidency in the 2028 general election. Let's speak to one of the members of parliament who was present at this particular meeting, and Sami Ewuku. He's the member of parliament for the Kuapim North constituency in the Eastern region. Mr. Ewuku, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Sami, and good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you too. First of all, one asks why the need to go see Dr. Bawumia?
Well, good evening to your cherished listeners. Well, the party once again is getting ready for another electoral cycle. Ran to the National Council meetings a few days ago, indicating that the party has set its 31st of January 2026 as the date and the time to conduct its presidential primaries. Some group of MPs who are like-minded when it comes to the choice and the candidature of Dr. Bawumia decided to go have a meeting with him. This is not the first time that we visited him, but not as a group. But Dr. Bawumia, from time to time, engages members of parliament in smaller groups, in bigger groups, in ones and in twos. At this time, we all decided that, look, let's have a chit-chat with the man, and also, once again, to also let him know that as he begins his consultation as to whether he is running, because, mind you, he has not declared officially that he's going to contest, but if he gives it a thought, based only of members of parliament, around 60, will be willing to also support him. And so we had a very good discussion with him. He also, what was key to him too was how we can all help reorganize, rebuild the party, support the leadership of the party at all levels for Victory 2028. He met us in the company of some few aides as well, including the leader emeritus, as we call him, the former majority leader, the former minority leader, the former Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu, the Venerable Oseche Mensah Bonsu, the Honorable Mopari Ansah, and Akosia Minu, and a couple of aides. He met us. He met the MPs in the company of
And so we had a very good engagement. And as far as we are concerned, the campaign indeed Bawumia gets into the race. He has promised us that as he's also thinking broadly about issues and also in extensive consultations, reaching out to people. One critical group on his heart are the members of parliament, and he expressed, the confidence in us and was proud about the job we are also doing in parliament and how we are also holding government accountable. Encouraged all of us to also move beyond our comfort zone, reach out to our party members to move beyond blame games and get working on the ground as well for the party and for an MPP in 2028.
So, why? Sorry to cut him, but why is there a need to have Dr. Bawumia contest again? Because the argument is that he did that in 2024. The party performed abysmally in that election. Why would you want to bring the same individual who caused the party's humiliating defeat?
I think the Professor Okoye report gives us an insight to the fact that it's not just one person. There were gamut of issues. The 8-year syndrome of political parties. In fact, across the world, almost all political parties that were seeking a third term lost their bid. You had the global shocks and so many issues that clearly were problematic for many governments across the world. Indeed, they affected the NPP too. So, and I believe that Dr. Bawumia also did very well. Nobody can pinpoint the fact that his Dr. Bawumia caused our defeat. However, all of us as a party, I'm not one of the people who just put the blame on one person or two people, three people. Maybe it can be that our attitude as a people, it could be at a point. It can be the fact that we got intoxicated by the sound of our own voices, maybe how we related to even our base, how we responded to national calls, and maybe the expectations of the people at a point and all. So that's why I say it's a gamut of issues. But once again, the MPP is seeking to rediscover the soul and heart of the party. We've done it before. When people thought we were never going to win, in 2016, the MPP rose to the occasion to win. And we need everybody on board. One thing that I must make clear is that even though many of the MPs that were there to support Dr. Bawumia today, we are also party people first and foremost. But at the end of the day, the choice of the people, the party leadership decides. The delegates, sorry, let me put it that way. The delegates decide that Dr. Bawumia is the one we're going for. We all will support. If it's not Dr. Bawumia and the delegates decide otherwise, we'll still support as a party. But today, in a big call, have all decided to support Dr. Bawumia today.
So, how do you react to people? Because I'm asking this question because you're a former party officer or former national officer, and so the party just on Tuesday announced that it was going to hold presidential primaries in January 31st, 2026. Many people have said that the party is rushing through the process. I've heard Adai Nimo speak, I've heard Boache Jaku speak, and the approach, it has always been electing from the base to the top. But now the party decides to do the election from the top and then descends down. Is there a rush in doing this whole process, or is tilted towards a particular candidate or give a candidate an advantage over the other?
I think before I even come to that, I also, in the earlier question you asked, I believe that Dr. Bawumia presents us with a very good opportunity to win 2028. Some of us are of the unshaken belief that in spite of the difficulties we face as a government, the last 4 years, the post-COVID era, economies around the world in turmoil, the global shocks and all, Dr. Bawumia did a very good job. He stood in the gap for the NPP. And I believe that his personal achievements and records and his character and the strength of his character and the integrity that he also has. I also do believe that in this our country, there's something that they also call name recognition. Dr. Bawumia was also up against a known quantity. President Mahama at that time, this was his fourth time on the ballot, 2012, 2016, 2020 and 2024. So clearly, in terms of the name recognition, he was up there. It was Dr. Bawumia's first time on the ballot. President Kufuor did face him. Nana Akufo-Addo did face him. And I believe that with a good party structure, with a good machinery, and with the unity of purpose, we should be able to give a very good account of ourselves in 2028 and eventually win the election to also move Ghana to the next level. Now, with your question on people have complained that why are we now deciding to elect from the top to the down? No. National Council is clothed with the powers to decide the date, time, and venue based on Article 13 of the NPP's Constitution when it comes to presidential primaries. So clearly, National Council, they were within their mandate to fix that date. We did not discuss a top-bottom, bottom-up. That is not a decision of National Council. National Council is saying that organize presidential primaries by the 31st of January. The presidential primaries is a stand-alone election. And so the college that elects presidential candidates is the Delegate Congress Conference, and people sometimes confuse it. It's a Delegate Congress. National Delegate Conference is the highest decision-making body, followed by National Council, followed by National Executive Committee, and then Steering Committee. However, the college that elects presidential candidates of the Democratic Party is the Delegate Congress. So the Delegate Congress is a standalone election. It is not linked to the fact that you have to elect national chairman first before you elect, because at every point in time, the party has leadership. There's no power vacuum. At every point in time, we have leadership at national, at region, at constituency, at electoral area, and at polling station. So there's never been a time that you don't have leadership at any of these ranks. So I am a bit surprised when sometimes I hear the argument, and in recent times, as I've heard that top, bottom, or bottom up. No. National Council can decide that organized presidential primaries by November. Once it's within the 6 months time frame, National Council is within its mandate. So it's up to the party structures to then decide whether you go with the current electoral college or you expand, because mind you will be going July 19th, you are going to National Delegate Conference to discuss, accept, adopt, or reject proposals and recommendations for constitutional reforms. It's within mandate of Delegate Conference to reject, adopt, accept, or trust. If Delegate Conference tells you that let the status quo remains, the status quo remains. If it tells you that, okay, consider the amendment proposal of adding 2 to the polling station, 4 to electoral area, this to that, former MMDCs, former ministers, former this, former that, that is a decision of conference and is binding. So again, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And then again, when decisions of the party are taken at various levels, the MPP's constitution enjoins us. They call something anti-party behavior. It is important and inherent in our constitutional democracy and that of the MPP. I may not agree with every decision of council. I may not agree with every decision of delegate conference, of NEC, of steering committee, of regional executive. However, the party's constitution says that you must uphold decisions of the party. I've been at the party headquarters for 11 years. I can tell you it wasn't every decision that I was always in favor of, but then you uphold decisions of the party. In 2014, we were elected in June, but we elected our flag bearer before the end of the year, the same 2014. And this was almost 2.5 years before the general election. 2014, not somebody said I was youth leader at that time. We got elected in Tamale in April or so. I think on the 12th of April, 12th to 14th of April. And then we were supposed to organize delegate conference, I think before September, I think so. But we were able to do it. And it was 2.5 years. The party then got ample time to campaign, move through the nook and crannies of our country, hamlets, the villages, the bigger towns, the smaller towns, so that you can also sell your candidates and your party's programs and policies. And then come to a conclusion in terms of your campaign and the things to do. And I believe that the MPP, looking at what we went through in the last election, we elected our candidate, first of all, up against a known quantity with a name recognition, somebody who was having his fourth term on the ballot, the fourth time in term on the ballot. And we elected our candidate almost a year before the general election. Whereas the one who had that name recognition was having his fourth time on the ballot was elected almost 2 years before the general election. So clearly you were going to have a problem. And the timing was short. We were having global challenges, external shocks. The economy was also facing difficulties, but then started seeing some few gains. So it was difficult, very difficult to campaign. And I wasn't, surprised that even in some instances, our parliamentary candidates even struggled. As it may, we are presented with another opportunity to rewrite history and to make sure that the MPP corrects some defects as far as this campaign strategies and policies were concerned. And it's in this vein that we are resolute and unshaken in our resolve that if we elect a candidate early, and that was the wisdom of that if you elect your candidate early, give them ample time, it could be Dr. Bawumia, it could be another person. So don't look at the personality, we are looking at the process.
All right, Sammy, thank you very much for your time. Sure, one of them invited us still, so we can have an extensive conversation on this party issue. Thank you very much. Sammy Oku is a member of Parliament for the Ekuapin North constituency in the Eastern Region, the former national youth organizer of the MPP and the former national organizer of the party as well. Now, the much anticipated and the much awaited Agri Fair is here. Join us tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we bring you the biggest agriculture exhibition event here in Ghana. In a short while, we'll go to the phone lines and speak to head of events and partnership at Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, Fema Edunyame, who is currently on the ground at the Ifua Sutherland Children's Park here in Accra to give us an update on as far as preparation is concerned for this all-important event. So tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, come to the Ifua Sutherland Children's Park and come and buy fresh farm produce. Don't go to the market. The market will be at the Ifua Sutherland Children's Park. Come there, come and buy everything you need. Cassava, plantain, cow, goats, whatever you need, you'll find it there. Fema Edunyame joins us on the telephone to speak to her. Fema, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I understand Fema is not on the telephone, but then we'll try and establish contact with her. But before that, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll do business. I'm told, I understand Fema is on the line. Let's speak to her quickly before we go and do business. Fema, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Hello, Fema. Hello, Fema. Hello, Fema. Can you hear me? I'm afraid Fema is unable to hear. We'll try and establish contact with her. We'll do business. And then when we come back, we'll talk to Fema again.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go, Google me. And what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Still unbeatable. Republic Bank has slashed the Citi mortgage interest rate to a new low. That means it's more affordable to own your dream home. You enjoy lower monthly installments, save on interest payments, flexible loan arrangements, and more. Make the move. Own your home at a lower teen interest rate. But hurry, this offer lasts for a limited time. Visit any Republic Bank branch or send email to myhome@republicghana.com or call Accra 054-0109-649, Kumasi 054-0109-901 to apply today and enjoy a teen interest rate. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
From back in the day when Afro hair was trending and children had to queue to play Kwejo's video game, Fun Milk was always irresistible. Today, it's an after-school source of refreshment. For you stuck in traffic and for us looking to cool off under the sun, the invitation is always that sound. So, whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keeps you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone. This advert is FDA approved.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Eyewitness News. I am Inusafa. Let's settle for the details. Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture John Dumelo is urging financial institutions to support local farmers with low-interest loans to help scale up agricultural production. Speaking at the Citi Business Forum on Agric, he highlighted the need for investments in agro-processing, research, environmental sustainability, and strong market linkages to drive growth in the sector. John Dumelo reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting this transformation under the Feed Ghana program, which seeks to create a more enabling environment for farmers and agribusinesses.
We want to encourage people to get into poultry. We also want to make sure that the cost of production comes down so that we can compete with the imports. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, so why don't we ban the importation of poultry? Sometimes you just have to let the systems fight themselves out. And so once we are able to produce at a lower cost, a lot of Ghanaians will purchase from Ghana instead of purchasing the imported ones. And then also we need to encourage the importers to also produce a poultry right here in Ghana. But that notwithstanding, we need to also speak to the finance people to give us more money. It's hard to get financing from. He's looking back. It's hard to get financing from.
Immediately he said financing, he's looking behind you.
Yes.
As if the person is behind you. Really, it's you.
So we need to encourage the financial institutions to take a risk and help farmers to expand.
Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture John Dumelo. Meanwhile, the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters has proposed that financial institutions reduce interest rates on loans to 9% to support farmers and boost agricultural production. President of FAJ, Davis Kobo, spoke.
The best we can do to save the agri-sector, when I talk about agri-sector, is the entire value chain. It should be able to lend at single-digit interest rates. If we do that, I tell you what, if we do single-digit interest rates,
what would be ideal? 5, 4?
5 is not good. I think that what they give us to us is at 9.
9%. Realistically, 9.
Yes. Because last week at the 1 year school, I spoke about the banks. I said the banks will change this mentality, this vault mentality, and grow the people. Because the thing is, if you ask me to go even the 30-something%, you ask me to go and bring my grandfather's death certificate. When am I going to get it? Do I even know my grandfather?
That was President of the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, Davis Kobo. The Citi Business Festival 2025 is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV with support from Absa Bank, MTN Ghana and Zonda Tech Ghana Limited. The Bank of Ghana is set to undertake a major overhaul of the Ghana reference rate as part of broader reforms aimed at lowering lending rates to 10% over the next 4 years. This comes as the high cost of credit continues to constrain private sector growth. Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama, speaking at the launch of the Ghanaian Banker magazine and the new Ghana initiatives in Accra, said that dismantling structural inefficiencies within the credit market is central to achieving a more competitive and inclusive financial system.
Recently, I declared my vision to see lending rates below 10% before the end of my 4-year tenure. And I understood when I made that declaration, there were skeptics, there were the doubting Thomases. Colleagues, we cannot sustain a real sector going forward. We've done this over the years where SMEs have to borrow at beyond 30% and are expected to compete, to grow, or to export. Hence, we need to dismantle the structural inefficiencies that keep the cost of credit high. And so we started work on these in a number of ways. First one, we are strengthening Ghana's collateral registry as well as the credit referencing system. Second, we are engaging banks to better price their risk and streamline intermediate.
That was the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama. Republic Bank PLC has signed a 2-year agreement with the Sierra Leone Commercial Bank to provide technical assistance in key areas such as trade financing, mortgage financing, and cross-border transactions. The partnership is expected to facilitate skills transfer between the two institutions while strengthening financial services across borders. Managing Director of Republic Bank, Dr. Benjamin Jobuku, described the agreement as a strategic step to deepen regional collaboration in the financial sector.
This technical assistance is not only in providing services to these our colleagues from Sierra Leone. I believe that it is time to realign, it is time to reconnect, it is time to share visions for the growth of the sub-region and for that matter.
Dr. Benjamin Jobuku is Managing Director of Republic Bank Ghana PLC. That's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inu Safo. Up next is Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
From back in the day, when Afro hair was trending and children had to queue to play Kwejo's video game, Fun Milk was always irresistible. Today, it's an after-school source of refreshment. For you stuck in traffic and for us looking to cool off under the sun, the invitation is always that sound. So, whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keeps you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you ready to lead like never before?
Ready to master the art of strategy and inspire teams that thrive?
It's the Management Bootcamp 2025.
An exclusive high-impact training for mid to senior pros.
Learn from Ghana's finest industry minds, brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM.
From the trusted voices of excellence, Citi FM and Channel 1 TV comes an elite training experience designed to sharpen your strategy, leadership, and communication.
Make a date for the Management Bootcamp 2025 from Sunday the 22nd of June to Saturday the 28th of June 2025. The venue is the Platinum Bay and Passion Base Hotels.
Call 0242-011-424 to register now.
The Management Bootcamp 2025. Lead forward. The Management Bootcamp 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM.
Oh, jump on now. Go, go. Google me. And what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. protector. And what they boss my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
The go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. And this is Point Blank. Tonight, my guest is the Member of Parliament for the Fia constituency, Isaac Nyako Buama. He was one of the members of Parliament who went to the house or the office of Dr. Baumia to throw their weight behind his re-election bid or his presidential ambition. Now, before we do that interview, let's go to the phone lines and speak to Head of Events and Partnership here at Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, Frema Edunyame, because the big event is here. The much awaited, much anticipated Agri Fair is here. It kicks off tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She joins us on the telephone line. She's currently on the grounds at the Fuasala Children's Park where the event will take place. She joins us on the phone to tell us more as far as preparation is concerned. Frema, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, Sammy. Thanks for having me.
We are reliably informed you are on the ground. Tell us what is happening there.
Right. So when it gets to the Fuasala Children's Park, see that it's very, very busy. Canopies are up. Riding is going on. We have some that will come. Identify the songs. We have something that will come through. The place is very busy. We even have patrons who have come around to see how persons are doing. We have the intention already here.
Hello, Frema. Yeah. Can you hear me? I'll be glad if you can reposition yourself. The line is a bit dodgy.
Right. Is it better now?
It's better. I can hear you.
Right. So what I'm saying is when you get to the grounds here at the Fuasala Children's Park, it's very, very busy. Canopies are up. Branding is ongoing. Sponsors have come to identify their stance and also to start their branding. We have the guys also here trying to set up their sound and ensure that we have great entertainment. We have some exhibitors who have already come through, to check the stance and also to know what exactly is happening on the ground. So when you come here right now, we are all here very busy and there's live now at Children's Park, even though the exhibition or the exhibit has not officially started, but you can see that things are really picking up and we are just gearing up for this weekend.
What should we expect tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday?
I mean, to begin with, just expect to come and shop, at farm-based prices, very discounted, because we are dealing directly with the farmers. So tomorrow we all are coming here, and 2 days after, that is Saturday and Sunday, we are coming to the Fuasala Children's Park at 9 a.m. We are here till 10 p.m. and we are shopping for all farm produce. So your cassava, your plantain, your rice, your chicken, your goat, your pork. I mean, everything that you can think of. We're also going to have great entertainment. The Chinchin Band will be hosting us great tunes. We have the clinics also happening on Saturday and Sunday. So if you've registered, we are coming in to look at topics like introduction to farming, access to funding, value addition, So it's really going to be an interesting weekend. We have a great food court as well where people can sit and have their meals because it's a family affair. We have great drink station as well. And of course, the great and the much anticipated kebab zone. So it's a whole village for kebab. And any meat that you want, you will have it.
Thank you very much, Frema. I know you are busy. I won't waste much of your time. Thank you so much. Frema Edunyame is head of events and partnership here at Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. My guest on Point Blank is Isaac Buama Nyako. He's a member of parliament for the Fia constituency in the Western region. He joined his colleagues, members of parliament, to visit Dr. Mamadou Bawumia in his office today to throw their weight behind his re-election bid. His bid to lead the MPP again into the 2028 general election. Honorable, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, my brother.
Why do you want to bring Dr. Bawumia again to lead the MPP?
Of course, thank you, and a very good evening to our cherished listeners and the good people of Ifeanyi constituency. We've just come out from an election in 2024 as a party, and the party lost significantly compared to our previous elections. Leadership of the party commissioned a team to do its own investigations and report. The report is out, though not public, but we've all received snippets of some of the reasons why we lost the elections. As a member of parliament who is on the ground with my people, I also have a fair understanding of the challenges we faced. And I can say for a fact that that challenge is not centered on the flag bearer that we represented on the 2024 elections. And so if we started from an election where we lost by that margin, I believe that when we represent that presidential candidate, taking away all the challenges that we faced and the factors that caused us to lose that election, we should be able to win the elections hands down.
So bringing him again, the factors will be different this time round.
Of course,
the more
yes.
why you are pushing to bring him back.
Of course, yes. We've come from a process where every 8 years, for example, Ghanaians, unless there's something significant.
But you knew that, yes, you wanted to break the 8.
No, of course, that should always be your desire and wish. We ought to contest the election. The fact that you know the elections will be difficult doesn't mean you don't go in for it. And actually, it is through those processes that you see the resilience in leadership. If you take where Dr. Bawumia joined the party from, having served faithfully as a vice presidential candidate with Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo through to the time that Akufo-Addo became president and served 2 terms as vice president. What kind of experience, again, do you want someone to live with? Having lived in opposition, come to power, and then lost it. What kind of experience, again, where we've got into, I believe Dr. Bawumia has that kind of experience, exposure, and competency to lead the party in 2020.
There are many who have said that these members of parliament who went to meet him are putting pressure on him. You are pushing him to contest because of your interest. Not you personally, I'm making a generic statement. Because of your interest. Because if he wins, it will be an advantage to you, the members of parliament, for your re-election bid.
I completely disagree with that. It has to do with the belief and the understanding that we have as a people, that when we present Dr. Bawumia this time again, looking at precedents where President Kufuor, having lost badly in 1996, we still prepared him for 2000 elections. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo lost 2008, and we represented him 2012 and 2016. And so it is no news from where we come from as a party. The members of parliament who are throwing their weight behind Dr. Bawumia are not the entirety of the party. If you take 276 constituencies, you only have 88 in parliament, and 88 from us. If you have 60 or 65 following Dr. Bawumia, that is still not the entire country, but it only gives a signal to the people that a greater number of MPs have that kind of understanding and idea, or share the same philosophy, that with Dr. Bawumia we stand a much more possible chance to win the 2028 election. As to it benefiting us as MPs, I'm very much unaware. Why would electing Dr. Bawumia as a flag bearer, so those who are following the other presidential candidates, is it to say that when they also succeed, that is only the reason why they continue to be
that he's the establishment candidate? In the previous election, that was the tag, which I'm sure you are aware that he was the candidate of the establishment, and he still holds or goes on with that particular tag. And so getting him elected will inure to the benefits of these members of parliament, because when you go to your constituency, you then have a trump card that we brought him in, and because of his popularity, you will stay with that popularity and also win your bid.
I disagree. I believe that MPs are MPs on their own merit. We went into a competitive election during our primaries and we won. We went into many elections and we won. And we still have to be in touch with our people. We still have to do our roles and perform our functions as members of parliament. Whether you go in here or there is never the situation. What we need to do is to give reasons and explain to our people why, as a member of parliament, I've taken that decision to support. Is it consistent with the beliefs of my people? Would my people see eye to eye with me that the decision that as a leader I've taken is in the collective interest of them as my party members, as well as the interest of the party, the New Patriotic Party that we represent? And so it is a whole collective responsibility thing that we're doing. It's an internal election. Nobody is an outsider in MPP. That is why whether someone chooses to go A or B or C or D is the beauty of the democracy. And so whether someone has 5 numbers or someone has 20 numbers or someone has 60 numbers, for me it doesn't mean anything. It is about the work we need to do as a party. Unite, come together, allow this bickering and pettiness that separate us to go. And then and that is why it is important that this election is held as quickly as possible, because it's the biggest thing that divides us when we go into presidential election. And then after losses are made, if we don't engage well, and I will plead with my colleagues, during this period that we are talking, we should talk unity. We should talk oneness. We should respect the views and opinions of people who are not in that same belief system today. I'm sure that as we soldier on, there are other people on other areas that may, looking at the vision, looking at the issues that will be discussed. Today when we met His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he's put together a team and he's going to come up clearly with his policy direction for us as a party going into the next election. Then I believe that is where MPP was built from. It was built from a party with ideas, a party with a common sense of responsibility. And so once we get to that direction, we can always compare with what the other people are also bringing on the table. And then at the end of the day, whoever emerges winner can put together some of the other ideas, and that becomes the manifesto that we run with us.
The issue of unity has always come up for discussion, and many people believe that the more reason why the party wants to elect a flag bearer first before the other, officers. But you think electing a flag bearer first will deal with issues of unity or disunity within the MPP?
It's about us as the people. I had no qualms with whether we do bottom up or top down. Wherever you go, it is about us. If we members of MPP don't respect one another and don't work together unity, whether you go bottom up or top down, the value will be the same. The most important thing is that let's complete the process, leave it behind us, and then soldier on and fight the bigger battle ahead of us. And so I believe it is good. The National Council, when they met, I understand the decision was unanimous. This had been a decision earlier agreed upon in April at the National Council, and then this was affirmed in our last meeting. And so the impression should not be created that this has been ironed out and fashioned to promote one particular candidate. I don't see it. You can go for an election today with your own delegate and lose. When I came in to contest MP at the primaries in my constituency, I didn't manufacture the album. The album was manufactured by the previous member of parliament, yet I went in and won. So the fact that Dr. Bawumia won with the last album. If he doesn't work hard, if the people who are supporting him don't work together, you can lose with the album. So, it's about the people. Let the message go down into the minds of the people. Let the people believe why you are the best to lead. And when they are convinced, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, how many people are voting? 200,000. How many people voted in the last election? Millions. So we are only a small fraction making a determination. The bigger picture is the people down there with us as Ghanaians. And so it is important that we raise the standard and raise the bar beyond the little group, whether they are 5 here or 7 there. All we need to do is that go wherever you think you want, but let's be decorous in our speeches and let's sell our candidates. Bawumia as a vice president has shown what he's capable of doing. And the whole world knows that he is a fine gentleman with a lot of mental capacity. It's only unfortunate that at certain point in his vice presidential term, the things that he wanted to do for us as a people, he was unable to achieve it. Now he wants to lead, and there's a difference between being a vice president and a president. And that is why I always say, give him the chance. Give him the chance and let us see if he will not deliver in transforming Ghana. It is about transforming the future of this country.
Do you think delegates of the MPP want Dr. Bawumia to lead them again in 2028 election?
He won by almost 68% the last elections. At the
election to lose.
Yeah, no. So that was the first verdict by the party leadership that elected him.
Okay.
And so he won by about 68%. And then we went into the main election and lost. And I've said that this is not the first time any of our previous candidates have lost an election.
But there's a counter argument from the other camp. I mean, the camp of Mr. Kennedy Japan, who is also one of the lead contenders. So I want to say that, that is the history. But it doesn't mean that bringing that individual back will also inure to the benefit of the party winning. If the party decides to change and bring a different candidate, maybe that candidate can win the election.
There's no qualms with that. That is why we go into an election. That is why you sell and market and tell the people who have the mandate to elect what they should expect from you. And so there is no difficulty if the greater number of MPP people who have the power to elect chooses A or B. What we are only saying, and from where I sit, my belief is that His Excellency, the former Vice President, whatever he has done and wherever he has got into, is left with him leading us a second time and taking over the reins. Remember, NDC has John Mahama coming a second term, and so there is no contest again with John Mahama. And Bawumia would have gone the first term already, and NDC will be bringing a new candidate. That candidate's capacity will be measured with the capacity of the vice president that we knew, and the dynamics that caused us to lose. If you go down again and we speak to our people, why didn't they come out to vote? That is a living reality. In my constituency, almost 50,000 voters. Total voting population less than 50%, 26,000 people voted. We had won those elections by margins of 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. Even when I was going around on the day of election, they said we won't come out to vote. Why are they not coming out to vote? Because they had issues that were unresolved. I tried to do a lot of the resolution, but there was time constraint. And that is why at times when you elect the flag bearer early, a lot of these things that caused our downfall, we'll be able to look at them, resolve them, and position the party in a better position to win the elections.
You feel that resolving these matters will inure to the benefit of the party, but there are some party people who are still pained, who are still peeved, who are still disgruntled in the face of all these. How do you get these people back to come and vote for the same candidates again?
It's not about the candidate, but to vote for the party again.
But is the understand.
So that is where I come from.
But then it's the same image on the
No,
ballots.
I agree. So that's why I'm saying that what caused them not coming to vote is what we should deal with so that they will come out and vote. So the reasons why they didn't come to vote, if I have done that study in my constituency, which I have done, and I've already started putting things in place to resolve those matters, and if I have all my party, MPP, MPs and leadership to go down to every constituency and engage the base of the party, then we will be able to do. The moment we resolve that, it doesn't matter the candidate. So the candidate for me is not the problem, but it is about us and the system and the challenges. But in between the candidates, of course, whoever emerges our candidate is our next president. And so you need to also look at the candidate and make sure that you get the best representation. All the others are fine gentlemen. Anybody, in fact, anybody that puts himself up in MPP today, even if myself, I wanted to contest as a president of this republic, I will be a fine gentleman to be able to contest. But would I be the best representative of the New Patriotic Party? And I believe that when we look at it from those tangents, we will be convinced that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has paid his dues, has served us faithfully. He cannot be placed on the chalkboard because he lost an election that all of us contributed to it. And so all of us have to come back, unite, and then win the election 2020.
Finally, before I let you go, let's go to Parliament. I see you ask a lot of questions at the appointment committee during the vetting of our judges. How do you see the process so far?
So the thing is that minority will have their say, majority will have their way. That is not to impugn the integrity and the capabilities of our justices who have been nominated. I think they came and performed creditably, but there are a lot of underlying issues that need to be resolved. Remember, some of them had actually been nominated, they came through vetting, their reports were ready, but we didn't take it in the last parliament. Then you overlook them and come back and bring 7 new people, and we are pushing. So what happens to those who you know, so as a people, these are the things that when we want to do, we have to do it well. Even if President Mahama was minded, at least pick those who had gone through that process and add them to what you want to do, and then we'll be building a better democracy. And so I believe Parliament, we are done with just one, where we received a petition. The appointment committee had a petition against one of the justices. I'm sure the Speaker will give further directives, and then we will come and combat. The reports of those ones that have been done, I think, are already ready and need to be laid before the House for approval.
Isaac, as always, thank you very much.
My pleasure, Sabi, for
having
me.
Nyakobama is a member of Parliament for the Efia constituency. And he was my guest on Point Blank on Citi 97.3 FM. And that's what time will permit us. We'll come away again tomorrow. The show produced by Beverly Landon, Juliana Odami, technical assistance from Emmanuel Kwashi. My name is Sami Wiafe. Good evening.